Well, hello everyone. Hope you're doing well. Welcome, guys, to episode 19 of the Be Positive Show. I hope you all are doing well. Today, guys, is episode that talks about something that I've been studying for 4 years in university, something that I've been very passionate about, and I have someone who is even more passionate about it, someone who's going to tell us the hacks and the secrets on how to become a successful game developer. Guys, we have Vedant Nayar in this episode. Great guy. He's a good friend of mine. Me and him have a very, very good picture. I posted it once on Insta, and I've seen it the other day before, and I was like, "Wow, it's crazy." Vedant is a great artist as well. He's a great friend. I've had the privilege of going to his house a couple of times. We played several games. A huge Pokemon enthusiast, crazy guy, and we would really love to hear amazing things from him. Hi, Vedant. Hope you're doing well.
Hello, that was an amazing introduction. Hello, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well, dude. I'm really happy to see you. It's been a while. I hope life is treating you well. How was the whole quarantine life going on with you?
It's okay. I don't go out much, but uh, I wasn't going out much even otherwise, so it's fine.
Fair enough. And I believe there was a Pokemon game that came out in March, April. Are you done with that already?
There was a DLC in was it May? I have no idea. Time is meaningless. Um, but yeah, no, I'm done with the DLC. Completed the decks and everything. That's done.
Perfect.
Waiting
Wow.
for the next one.
That's amazing. All right, guys, if you are here for the first time, this is the Be Positive Show. I'm Bibi. What I do is I do gaming content throughout the week, and I do the Be Positive Show on Fridays and Saturdays at 5 p.m. UAE time. So if you are here from Vedant's side, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you guys. And if you are here for the first time, please hit me up with a follow so you can see me in the future. At the same time, guys, to get Vedant's information, it's the usual command, ! Guest. You can get his socials. Please get in touch with him. Go hit him up with a follow. He's a nice guy. You'll get so much information just today. I'm pretty sure about that. So Vedant, let's get a little started. Tell us who Vedant is. What do you do? What's your interest? And tell us more about you.
Okay, well, that's a good question. I don't know who I am anymore, but okay. Let's see. I am someone who aspires to be a game developer. That's, I guess, I mean, you could probably see from the title of the episode. But that's pretty much it. So what I'm doing right now is doing that. And as for who I am, I have no idea.
Well, let's start with he's a guy who's 23 years old, I believe.
Almost 24.
24, almost 24. And he's from India. That's cool. Studied and graduated from the University of Wollongong. A big shout out to UOWD, guys. Lovely university. Great success stories. And they just launched their new campus. So if you're a school kid willing to join a university, UOWD is the one for you. I definitely recommend it.
Yeah, I've seen it from the outside. It looks great. I want to go visit it properly.
Definitely. I'm sure as soon as the students get in there and we start opening up, we're definitely going to be stalking all the new kids and their lucky life, oh, we wish we were there.
Yeah,
but I mean,
it's great.
Everything has its time, I guess. I still believe our old campus has the nostalgic feeling, and we're always going to
That's true. That is true.
Cherish that. All right. So Vedant, funny question. A lot of people sometimes develop games but don't play games. Do you play games yourself?
I do play games, yeah. I would say that recently I've been playing a lot more than developing, but that's just been procrastination.
Do you want to tell us some of the games you play? What's your favorite genre type, and what consoles do you use?
Okay, well, picking a genre would be really difficult. But as for consoles, PS3, Switch. I have a bunch of Game Boys and a PS3, but I haven't played on those in a little bit. But they're there if the need strikes me.
So I believe Switch would be your number one console at the moment?
At the moment, it would be the PS3.
PS3.
Actually, no, also the PC, because I'm playing Fall Guys a lot.
Fall Guys.
Yeah, I would say right now it's Fall Guys is number one. Number two is on the PS3. I'm playing a game from 2005, GTA Liberty City Stories.
Oh, nice.
Which is actually a PSP game that was ported to the PS2 and then ported to the PS3. So
that's amazing. Wow.
Yeah, and the Switch has I pretty much just have Pokemon there, and I've finished everything there is to for the moment. So I'm just waiting for the next DLC, and then Switch is going to jump back up to number one.
Perfect, perfect. And what made you get into game development? So I know that you studied this in university, but like, was it always the passion of games that you wanted to start creating a game, or where did it all start? This whole passion.
Well, good question, because I'm about to spit things you don't know. Okay, so when I was young, like I would say, like even like 5 years old or whatever, I would make games, like as in like I would draw them on paper,
Mm-hmm.
and these were mostly just like rip-offs of like games I already knew or whatever. Like I was barely doing anything original, but like I'd have a little like drawn D-pad on the paper and like a couple buttons, and I'd like put my finger like this is where you are. Now you need to physically press the D-pad, and like I'll move my finger,
Interesting.
stuff like that. So I was really creating games, again, not original games, but like games from a really young age. And I like in uh, middle school, especially, like everyone was like playing them in my class and stuff, which is really cool. But like in high school, there wasn't really anyone to do that because my class got shuffled around and everything, and I stopped doing that. And then I discovered programming, and I was like, hey, cool, I can do games this way. So that's how I brought it back.
Nice, nice. That's actually pretty interesting. And was did you find it hard the coding part? So I believe you use technology like Unity, Unreal, and all that. Do you enjoy like the coding part as well, or do you feel
Hmm.
like it's just a struggle you have to do
No,
until you
I
get to
enjoyed a lot.
you enjoy the coding?
I enjoyed the feeling that there's this problem I need to overcome, and like, how do I tackle it? And like, when you finally get it to work, with that feeling of achievement and everything, like I love programming. Like even if it wasn't for games, I think I would really enjoy programming.
All right, that's interesting. Do you want to share with us a couple of projects you are working on right now, or you finished in the like in the previous? So I know that you guys worked on a nice project for university. It was a spider-ish, some spider thingo. Do you want to tell us about that, or was that not you?
The spider. The final project. Okay, that
Mm-hmm.
I guess that wasn't technically a game. It was more like a simulation.
Oh, okay, I see.
But so it was like a VR-based simulation, which we were hoping would be could be used in like therapy sessions to like help people get
Mm,
over phobias.
that's amazing.
So this is not something you like dive into on your own. You need a therapist there. Like that's the
Fair enough.
but the therapist can like control how many spiders are in a level, where the setting is. There was also heights, and there were like 5 levels of each, and you could like change the intensity in each one, and stuff like that. Yeah. So that was the final project. As for what I'm working on now, I'm working on like a 2D. I don't want to say puzzle based. I guess physics. It's physics based, and like there are puzzle elements to it. But like it's about a bunch of astronauts that are just stranded in space, and like they need to get to like a safe point so that they can be rescued.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so in space, you can't just like move around like by swimming or whatever because there's nothing to push back for you to move forward. So the idea is that in each level you have like a certain number of tools, like let's say certain balls or a grappling hook. I
True,
still might
true.
be grappling hook up, but fire extinguisher, and like you got to look at the level and like figure out, okay, I got to throw the ball this way, so I'll fly that way. Um, or I got to like round this corner, so I've got to use the fire extinguisher and like spray it like gradually to like turn that corner. Or like there's a wormhole here, I got to like fly into it at this angle. So yeah, just that's kind of the basis of what I'm making right now.
Interesting, interesting. We got a question in the chat from a guy called Flicker. Hi, Flicker, by the way. He's
Oh,
asking
hello.
you, how long does it take to develop a simple game?
Well, it depends, one, on how simple we're talking, and two, on whether you're me and whether you procrastinate. um, but I would say that if you really wanted, you could like do a really simple game in a couple of days if you know what you're doing.
True, true.
Um, but like if you wanted to be, I guess, of a certain standard, it would maybe take weeks or months. Um,
Or years potentially.
yeah, I mean, for sure. If you're making something, especially I can see like 3D characters. If you're making animations from scratch, yeah, that's gonna take years, especially if you're doing it on your own.
100%, 100%. Especially that the competition nowadays is very, very, very hectic. Like I'm always on Steam, right? And I see more than thousands of games being uploaded every single day. So like every day there's like new games deployed, new games failing, new games succeeding, and like the competition is crazy. And obviously people are improving as well. So like what I used to know in uni is like already outdated, and people already know like 10,000 more things. And if you're just not like working hard, grinding your ass off to kind of learn and develop yourself and your skills, it's going to be a really hard competition for you. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think most games succeed because of the idea more than the development. Like a good idea, if it's not executed well, would be bad. But then a good, let's say a bad idea that is executed very well could potentially become a good game as well. So both are as important. And obviously you need both sides. You know, you need someone with a good idea and someone with a good skill to be able to implement that. Hi guys, welcome again. So just to keep you guys up to date, this is Vedant Nayar. He's going to be telling us about the amazing game development and his experience with that. If you are here for the first time, please hit me up with a follow. And if you want to get Vedant's detail, it's !guest. Yeah, just use that command. You'll get his socials. Feel free to follow him. Great guy. You will love the guy. All right. So Vedant, you are working on a game right now, as far as I know, right? Do you want to kind of share with us a little bit more about the game?
Yeah, so that's the space game that I just talked about.
Like, why are you doing it? Do you have a goal, perhaps? Do you have a timeline for it?
I don't have a timeline. I should have a timeline. That would probably help things. But no, it's just sort of it gets done when it gets done, and my goal is just to like put it on the Play Store at some point. I would do it on the App Store, but like that costs money, so no.
True. Apple does take $99 per year, but I mean it kind of makes sense.
I didn't know it was that bad. Wow. Okay. Google Play, I was just like, here's $25. Let me publish that, and they're like, yeah, cool.
Oh no. Apple does take money, but then again, they kind of provide you with the whole security and like all that stuff. So it comes in a balance for some reason. But yeah, I mean, hopefully we'll be seeing it. Do you have any expectations or any estimation on when it's gonna be deployed?
Well, I would say that I'm done with most of the, I guess, basic stuff. I want to swap out some art in there. And after that, it's just I gotta like put all these prefabs into. For anyone here that's not in a game dev setting or doesn't know Unity, a prefab is like you can have a character prefab and like work on the character and then like drop that character into like different places. So I would say the prefabs are mostly done. Gotta like swap out the art on some of them and then just like make level design. That's all it comes down to. So hopefully in a month, we'll see.
Can we see it? Vedant.
I can share my screen.
Yeah, I would prefer if you don't share your screen. But if you have, I remember you were doing the arts on maybe your DSL or something.
Yeah.
So if you wanna share that, I don't mind. So if you wanna grab it or tell your brother. But
it's right over there. I can grab it.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
So a big shout out, by the way, to his brother who's actually around. He probably doesn't hear us, but like his brother is somewhere around the room, just enjoying Vedant talking about this. We did ask him to be completely silent for the show. So yeah, big shout out to him. He probably isn't even hearing this, but he's a great guy. All right, you want to share the art maybe?
So
obviously, guys, you can always get in touch with Vedant. He will show you the game. He'll show you like the actual gameplay. But just for the sake of like the whole like overlays and stuff, it will be hard to do it right now.
Bad news, it's out of charge.
You guys are definitely unlucky, but definitely get in touch with him, guys. He will show you the game. I promise you that. Like, unless if he has like absolute hate towards you, which I kind of doubt, then yeah, you should be fine.
Who is this hypothetical person I'm hating? I don't know.
No, it's Borna. It's Borna from Wollongong.
Oh, okay.
So I'm sure you might know him, right? Do you know him? Oh, okay. So
I don't know.
lovely guy. He plays games. He worked with Amr, if you know Amr as well.
I think I know Ahmed.
Yeah, he was working with him.
I'm pretty sure I've met Ahmed. I'm not able to like put a
All
face to the name at the moment, but
at the
yeah.
same time, some people are willing to buy your game already. So,
Oh,
guys, I'm sure.
fantastic.
I think he'll put it out for free. Are
Yeah,
you?
it's gonna be
Yeah.
free, but if you want to PayPal me some money, I'll
Yeah,
accept it.
obviously, guys, if you want to support him, that would be highly, highly appreciated. Do you have a name for the game, Vedant?
Yeah, it's called spacing out.
Space,
Spacing out, like sort of when you're in
space
class, you're not paying
alert,
attention. Spacing out, like
space out.
SPACING space
Oh shit,
UT.
space out,
Spacing out.
spacing out. So space.
Hang on, I got it. I can put it in chat.
All right, he's got it. All right. Well, guys, make sure you remember this name for the future and definitely download it. I think it should be out by the end of the year. Let's hope so, at least. It should be out by the end of the year, and yeah, definitely would love to play it. I think it will be like a 1 hour to 2 hours gameplay, as far as I know. So it should be a quick game.
Well, let's see how many levels I can just cram in there.
I mean, obviously he'll be upgrading it in the future, and I really hope it hit big. Like if it hits big, I'm definitely sure you're gonna be even
Yeah.
probably hiring other people to help you with this if it starts.
Let's see.
hitting big.
There's currently no plans to like put any ads in there or anything. This is mostly just like a showcase piece. Like, hey, this
Okay.
one's for the portfolio. You know what I mean? But maybe if it takes off real big, maybe I'll monetize.
Oh yeah, maybe just have like extra levels or a pro version later on in life if it does work out and people are really enjoying it. But that's amazing. All right, moving on. How has your family and your friends supported you throughout? Like, were they very supportive? Were they like, game development is not real? Because when I was doing university, my parents were like, no, engineering, doctor, lawyer, that kind of mentality. Until I eventually proved to them that game development is a legit, actual game, like proper job. And then they're like, okay, well, we accept our non-lawyer son. We don't dishonor him yet. So how was your family's reaction towards that in the beginning?
It was fine. Like they've been supportive. Like the only thing is they've told me not to like specialize in game development and rather do like a broader computer science thing, just so that I don't like block off other opportunities for myself. If they come up, like I'm not like, I guess, dead set on this one thing. But as far as otherwise, they've been supportive. Like everyone's just being paid like no opposition or anything.
That's good. That's good. And frankly speaking, my chat is very supportive. So they're already demanding you early access to the game. So before before you even get it, you need to. Okay, guys, let's do this. Vedant is going to be a very good person today, and he's giving everyone right now an early access to the game. So all my followers get early access, and if you go follow him right now and tell him you came from BB's side, he's going to give you an even earlier access.
I don't mind. I'll put out an APK with like 5 levels.
I think you should, because then maybe like some bugs will be cleared out before it even gets deployed, and you just get like a good feedback from the game, so you could potentially do some minor changes just before you actually fully launch it. So that would be actually good. So here you've got
one thing that I really want like feedback on from like people who play it is like what the art style looks like, because I went for like this weird, like it looks like someone drew it by hand kind of thing. And I like it, but like I understand that people are just gonna like there's gonna be varying opinions, and I want to know what other people think of the way it looks.
Interesting. So that's cool. And Borna is excited to see what Wollongong has to has to offer from the students. You know, I'm pretty sure many people who graduated, especially from my batch, like the computer science, especially like the ones like let's say 1 year less or after me, before me and after me. Like I'm sure there's a good talent coming from them. Like I've seen a couple of them in the game jams. They've done amazing work. I've seen a couple of them end up in big companies. So like I'm pretty hopeful about the current batches coming from Wollongong, like the past maybe let's say 3-4 years. That was pretty good. But yeah, Vedant, how about the UAE? Was it as supportive in like with the game developing scenery in general, or do you think other communities are much more supportive? And as a game developer, what would you like the UAE or the community in the UAE to be providing you guys to be able to succeed better, or maybe like reach better to the community?
Right. So there aren't many indie studios in the UAE. There is, I think, Ubisoft in Abu Dhabi,
Mm-hmm.
maybe like another branch or two, but like as far as big names go, that's it. And as far as the indie studios go, I think there's two or three major ones, and that's about it. I don't know if it's the fact that I can't find them by like searching for stuff on Google. But like I would like for a lot more people to make indie companies and like start their own thing. Um, Also hire me. I'm looking for a job. uh, but yeah, I'd like to see the game scene flourish here a little more because like it's definitely like a lot better if you were looking at some place like California.
Fair
Like
enough.
it's
Fair enough.
yeah.
But do you think this is just because of the lack of interest in game development in general, or is just because of like the resources, maybe not enough money, not enough people in the workforce? What do you think is the reason, or from your point of view in the market? Like you graduated around 2 years ago, and how did you feel the market was reacting to that when you were, especially when you go and tell them, hey, I have a degree in computer science, game development, blah blah blah. How was the reaction usually?
I
Offered you.
mean, I there wasn't much of a reaction because like there weren't many companies. You know what I mean? Like there were non-game dev companies that were like, cool, you can come on board, because computer science degree like that was the major. But I mean, as far as game dev companies themselves go, it's just barely there at all.
Fair enough.
So I don't know what the reason is that there aren't more companies. Like I know for me, the reason I'm not like established in the studio or whatever is because I just don't have the funds to something like that. Um, but I don't know if it's a lack of interest or a lack of resources. Well, I couldn't tell you.
Cool, cool. Well, Borna here is demanding your CV, so make sure you send him the CV right after this call. He
Okay.
probably try to hook you up with a job. Thank you, Borna, so much for that. Really appreciate it. Like, if Vedant ends up getting a job because of the show, I'll be very, very proud. And this guy's like already on the board.
I got it.
1 second later, CV sent already. That's pretty interesting. But yeah, if you guys can provide him with a job, he's a talented guy. I can definitely vouch for his work. Hardworking guy, amazing person in general. Really fun to be around with, and yeah, he'll definitely get you in touch with other developers as well. Like Vedant's community has like several smart developers, not just in game development but in general. So yeah, definitely a guy I would take hackathons with me. Like such a smart kid. But yeah, Vedant, since we mentioned hackathons, you have been privileged to win one or two, I believe, if not more.
Just one, unless I'm like forgetting something. I won Ministry of Finance
All right.
in the transportation sub team.
Uh,
It wasn't really like a first place or anything. It's like
just an award, but still, it's some sort of
mhm.
privilege. So what do you think of the hackathon initiative, especially in the past few years where the UAE just like started blasting hackathons all over? Was that helpful for you as a developer as well? And do you think was there any opportunities that you could have taken while being in a hackathon because of these things?
Well, putting the game dev aside and just talking about like development in general, I think the hackathons are really cool. Um, I I like them a lot. I enjoy um, just like trying to build something in like that kind of limited, intense kind of time frame. Um, I don't know for sure that it has given me opportunities. Technically, I was supposed to get an internship for winning my hackathon, but that never happened. So
Oh yeah, the promises. I mean, we can't really blame them. They do overpromise things, but then eventually they kind of tend to calm it down and eventually do what they. But they do take long. That's pretty much every government out there. So we can't really like put a blame on them, but I mean
yeah.
sometimes they do overpromise like, oh yeah, we'll provide you with this, we've got you, we're fully supporting your project, and then like you never hear from them again. And then what's funny is you see them next year for the other hackathon and you're like, it's you. What happened to my internship? And then it's like, who are you, bro? I don't know. But it's pretty
This wasn't a
hilarious.
government, it was like a private company, and they were just like, yeah, we are having HR problems and stuff. I think I followed up with them for like 6 months or so, and then It's
Well,
never happened.
well, it's obviously their loss. They lost a great employee, and yeah, it's a great potential that they could have definitely been using. But yeah, at the end of the day, it is their loss, and yeah, I'm sure you did end up working in a better place, and hopefully you'll find a better job now. Obviously,
Hopefully.
it's really hard at the moment because of the corona hitting in and like
Hmm.
literally damaging every single person's life. But like hopefully soon things will get much better, and yeah, people will get back to normal life. And uh, plus, you've been busy regardless. So like, you're not the
Yeah.
person from what I know of you. You're not the person to sit around and just slack off. You were pretty much as productive
There
as you
was some
can.
slacking off going on, but yeah, I have
True,
been
true,
working.
true. No, but I mean, like, you are a productive person in general, and you kind of use your time in something to either like do something productive or learn a new skill, which is
Yeah,
a
yeah.
good character to have in general.
Yeah, it's been game dev, looking at masters. So I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know, maybe that might happen. Looking for jobs. Yeah, it's been a couple of things I've been working on. Yeah.
that's nice. And since you mentioned the masters, that question was kind of for the later, but I'll just ask it now.
Ooh, okay.
What's your plans for the next 3 to 5 years? Usually I ask this question at the very end of the show, but like, let's actually get into it now. So where do you see yourself in the next 3 to 5 years?
Um, so the current, I guess, number one plan I have, and I do have like a plan B and stuff, but like a plan A would be if I can get a master's in Canada, if I can get into one of those,
Hmm.
then I can get a postgraduate work permit. And I think in like, especially in the big cities in Canada, the game dev scene is,
Mm.
uh, I mean, definitely better than here, and I think it's pretty good. So hopefully I can like convert that into a career plus maybe a permanent residency or something. So that's kind of what planning looks like.
Well, best of luck on that. Have you looked up any
Okay.
university yet or applied to any?
I haven't applied to any yet. I have looked up game dev related universities and made a shortlist. There's like five of them. I think only one actually offers a master's.
All right, that's cool.
And I'm also looking at like general computer science. So I'm sort of working my way down the list.
Okay, that's cool. Well, best of luck, and I hope you definitely find a university that's suitable for you and that could potentially build a career out of your skills. Like, regardless of where you end up, I'm pretty sure wherever you end up, I'll definitely be hearing good stuff from you. Like,
Here's
talk,
hoping.
if I end up talking to your boss, I'll be like, Vedant is the best employee I have. Blah, 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 like, hire him. And I'm really kind of like certain about that. You do build a positive vibe around you. People are always happy to be around you, work with you, and that's again like such an amazing character to have. And I hope that you end up being like that in the future as well.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
All right. Um, so we've got a question from the chat. Would you be choosing graphic designing over game development since you are an actual good artist, or do you still prefer the
I
programming and the mechanical part of it?
wouldn't say I'm a good artist. I feel like that's stretching it just a little bit. Um, I I like I would say game programming more than the graphic design part of it, just because I like getting in there and like getting messy with like the code or whatever. I like having to like I would be fine if like someone gave me the art and was like here you go, put this into your game, and I had to like build the game around it. You know what I mean? So if I had to pick one out of those two, I would pick the programming part.
Well, I guess you kind of know what your next step is. Find a game designer for you. So, like someone who does your art, and then you can tweaky on the art and make a good game out of it. And I think
Got
you
to
guys would definitely create like a good project together and hopefully launch it. You know, like it would be good to always have a partner, especially like if he knows programming. Since you already know the art, it would be like a two-in-one pair, and that would be amazing. So definitely start looking for a partner who would potentially help you in these things. And
That
yeah.
would be cool. I don't know, like logistically if it's gonna work out, because like I'm not gonna be able to pay them or
Oh no
anything.
no, someone who has
But
the share, someone who has the same vision as you, someone who wants to actually
right,
develop.
yeah. Oh, I mean, yeah,
If
that
you're
could work
paying
out.
him, he's not a partner. He's just a
That's fair.
yeah.
That is true.
True true.
Someone
But
who's willing to work for free with me. That's the dream.
someone you fool into working for free with you. But no, definitely a lot of successful stories of indie developers were just like university students or people who just were friends and then eventually ended up creating one of the biggest games in the world. Yeah, so there's many stories about that, and you never know. You could be the next, I don't know, Fall Guys coming up. Since
Yeah,
Fall
that
Guys,
game came out of nowhere.
yeah, since Fall Guys is the new like biggest thing in the world right now, and literally every company is willing to collaborate with them. I literally bought
Yep.
all the skins to a point where the shop just told me like, "Khalas, stop buying." Like, I don't know. It's
Oh
just
yeah, coming soon or something it
yeah,
says.
yeah. I have all the skins, so like they're actually not allowing me to buy anything else. It's just insane. But
And sorry, I need to give a quick shout out to you know Siddharth Arya?
yes, I know
Yeah.
him.
So his studio has sort of made a Fall Guys clone
Mm.
on Android. And so if you wanna
Yeah, just what's the name of his studio?
okay, it's Pep Up Studios. That's the name of the studio. And if you wanna so just search on the Play Store for Fall Dudes 3D
Fall
and
Dudes 3D.
uh, try that game out. Give him some love.
Is it
Uh,
available on Android and iOS or just Android for
just
now?
Android for
Just
the moment.
cool, cool.
But yeah, I like the game. I mean, it's not Fall Guys, of course, but like
Well,
it's nice.
definite
Yeah.
big shout out to Sid, guys. He was also our university student with us. He did develop like a couple of games before that. One of them was called what was it? The one with the heat one, the one for
Uh,
global warming. I don't remember the name, but he made a
Heat.
really good game for
I
global
know what
warming.
you're talking about. It wasn't. No, Heat Seeker. I don't know.
Either way, but he did develop a really nice game about global warming that went and got some reward in Imagine Cup, which was pretty crazy, and that was one of the first achievements that we got in our batch, like in the batch that we were studying in. So I was very proud of that, and yeah, big shout out to him. Hope he's doing well, and I hope his studio. If you guys are watching, do follow him as well. Great guy. Does he have a portfolio? And he's asking if Sid has a portfolio. I think.
Oh, are we talking about Sid or me? Sid has a portfolio and it's on the Play Store and it's like 8 games. So if you want to check it out, just search for Pep Up Studios. I'm not sure. There's 2 or 3 of them in the studio itself. So I'm not sure how many are games where Sid mainly did stuff because it could have been from the other guys. But you're talking about me. Yeah, no, I don't have a good one.
He doesn't have a good one, unfortunately, but he will be making a good one.
Soon. Spacing out is kind of like that's something I want to put on there. Like that's going to be the centerpiece of the portfolio. That's I guess one of the reasons I want to make that.
And a big shout out to Borna. Guys, Borna is a artist in every way possible. He's an artist, and he's an artist. Artist in music, artist in art, and artist in science.
Ooh, okay.
Borna, he's
Cool.
the mutton money guy. And he streams, guys. So again, do follow him on his streams. He was playing Fall Guys the other day. I'm not sure
Ooh,
if
okay.
I'm not sure if he's been streaming for the past week. I haven't seen him online, but just because I actually sleep like extra late, so I'm usually sleeping in the morning. And he's a programmer. No, come on, you're much more than a programmer. In my opinion, at least, I think you're much more than a programmer. But yeah, guys, do hit him up with a follow as well. And yeah, definitely follow him on Twitch, follow him on Instagram. Go apply to his company if you're a good artist and a good programmer for games. He is looking for a talent. So if you think you're talented, go apply. And if he thinks you're talented, you're probably hired. That's like the best way to just like hire
Yeah.
someone. If I think you're talented as you think you are, you're hired. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Well, Vedant, moving on. Who, like, out of your community of friends in university specifically, who would you feel like was very supportive of you? Because I'm sure at some points, especially when you have like hard subjects or like when you're not feeling that well, obviously we all feel like sometimes we're not, maybe this is not the thing for us. Maybe, I should have probably did like accounting or something. And I'm not degrading accounting. Accounting is a hard subject. I'm just saying, but like sometimes people feel like there's degrees that could have been very straightforward instead of like the whole hassle you're into. But like, who do you want to give like shout out to someone or like maybe some person or some teacher that was kind of motivating you all the way through and really there for you in your hard times or when you were not feeling that game development or computer science was your thing?
Well, I want to start this off by saying like first of all, I'm kind of lucky, I guess, that I never thought that this was my thing.
Okay,
Like,
that's
I
good.
always knew it was. There were times I was like, oh, why did I take this class? Um, but yeah, I
Are
guess I
you
would.
sure?
I guess I would have to shout out my immediate friend group, especially the computer science ones. They're always like there to help. Um, well, if it's be it class or like listening to an idea, like spacing out was run by many people before I like decided on the concept and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to my brother because he also helped with the concept of spacing out. He gave me a thumbs up. He's right there.
You can grab him on the camera if you want. If he wants to come
Want
and
to come
say
say
hi.
hi on Twitch? You want to say hi to Twitch chat?
So guys, this is Vedant, the brother, nice guy, and yeah, a big shout out to him as well. Does he do anything? Does he stream or anything? What are we shouting out for him? His Insta
Do you-
page?
Do you want to shout out your Insta?
No.
Your Instagram? I don't know. You want to do that? Okay.
Fair enough, fair enough. All right, that's amazing. But yeah, dude, that's actually good, and I like the consistency and let's say resilience, right? Because like if you have it set in your mind that this is your thing, and no matter how hard it is or all the struggles that you face, but you still feel like, no, I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna still be going, and this is definitely my thing. I think that's where you build a good motivation for yourself and a regular motivation that keeps coming to you, and it kind of pushes you to go, even though you're going through struggles or going through challenges in the degree, and that's really good as well, because that kind of reflects as well on the work that you do later on in life. So once you get to the actual market and the industry, which is much more challenging, right? Like then you'll have like a lot of deadlines, a lot of like your income or your money or your support to the family will kind of depend on that, and that's really amazing that you kind of do that. A lot of people that I know don't, so it's good that you kind of already figured that out, and hopefully you'll be able to influence the others around you to be able to do that as well.
Yeah.
Cool. So Vedant, favorite game of all time?
Oh boy. I'm gonna have to give this one some thought. One immediately jumped to mind, and that's Pokemon Crystal.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a second to see if anything else comes close. You know what? No, I don't think so. I think Pokemon Crystal.
That's
I
good.
think that's
Which console is it on?
it is on the Game Boy Color, but I think also playable on the Game Boy. Don't quote me on that.
Game Boy. So guys, if you don't have a Game Boy, if you weren't born when I was born, go grab a Game Boy and definitely
Yeah.
play.
Or an
Pokemon
emulator.
Crystal.
And
Oh yeah.
wait, no, that's illegal. I shouldn't be saying that publicly.
I mean, I mean, even if you do, just try it out on the emulator, but definitely get the game, guys. It's way different when you play the actual game and when you just
Oh, yeah.
like run a simulation somewhere else.
Oh
it's,
yeah.
it's not
Feeling
the
the
same.
Game Boy in your hand and everything, like there's nothing like it.
Exactly, and you definitely wanna like. There's a reason why games aren't available on every platform, right? Obviously because of the money, but mainly because this is the reason. Like the game is meant to be on that console for a
Yeah.
reason, right? And
Yeah, if you have a 3DS, you can also play it there, and it's probably going to be cheaper. It's like $10. But yeah, I think those are the only two places you can legally play it.
Cool. And yeah, so Pokemon Crystal, one of the good games Vedant likes. I've never tried it in my life, so
You should.
I cannot vouch for it. But definitely I will. I mean, I was actually, guys, since we're mentioning this, I want to give a big shout out to a company called Retro Gaming, or Comic-Con shop. They sell all the retro consoles under the retro games. So like literally, if you want to buy like Mario's from the 90s or Pokemon games from like the 80s. Did Pokemon exist in the 80s?
1996. Feb
1996.
27, 1996 was the first one.
There. So if you want to get Pokemon from the 90s, you can definitely reach out to them. They sell it for extra cheap prices. So like you don't have to pay, you don't have to like sacrifice a kidney for an old, I don't know, Game Boy or something. You can get it for a very, very decent price.
Link me to that later.
And,
I'm gonna look into that.
And yeah, they sell all the good games and stuff. And the real ones, it's not like they don't sell like programmable ones. They just collected them from all over the world. They literally went to like random kids who don't want their consoles and like, come, I'll pay you whatever money for this. And yeah, so there you get the original piece, not like a programmable one. Because you know what big companies do these days is they just put the hardware and then like they program in everything inside, which isn't
especially
really,
with Game Boy games. Yeah,
it's not the real thing. No, I'm talking about the actual real thing, which is pretty amazing and impressive. Yeah,
that's cool.
So Vedant, do you have anything you want to share to the people viewing you right now? Something you want to kind of like tell them about game development specifically?
Do it. if that's an interest of yours, it's just like do it. Like I feel like it's worth it. Like it's like creating a piece of art. Like it's probably gonna take a while, a lot more than just like a piece of art, I guess. But or a piece of music or whatever. Like any kind of art, it's just like that. And like you can be proud of like what you put out. And if you're one of those artists that doesn't like anything they put out, that's also fine, because like then you're gonna make sure your next game is better than your last.
And how do you recommend someone who doesn't know how to start? Like, let's say I am a person who doesn't know anything about game development. I just play games. I think they're cool. Where do you recommend me to start, or what do you think would be a good practice until I can make an actual proper game?
Well, Unity has a bunch of really great tutorials, and I think Unity is like simple enough that in this situation, do you know how to program?
Yeah, no. So completely.
You don't know how to program. Yeah. Interesting. Unity might still be the move, although I would. It would be cool if you had like programming basics down before you jumped into Unity. I know Unreal can. You can like get stuff done without having to write a single line of code. But I've never gotten familiar enough with the Unreal Engine that I can recommend it for sure. Like I don't know how simple it'll be for a newcomer. That's interesting. I would say take a programming course and then jump into the Unity tutorials, because they're pretty extensive, and there's a lot of tutorials like officially by Unity even that walks you through creating simple games step by step.
True.
So I think that's way a good place to start.
And what language do you recommend first? C++, Python, C#?
Well, C# works with Unity. So if that's your only goal, then just go C#, or I think JavaScript is the other language supported.
Is it still supported? I feel like they stopped that.
Did they? Okay.
I think.
Literally just been using C# this entire time. I have no idea.
So, exactly. I think everyone is. I think they stopped supporting it with Unity 5, as far as I know.
Oh, interesting. I didn't hear that. Okay.
So like even when we were in uni, I think that was the last year they stopped doing JavaScript. But yeah, I could be wrong. I just heard this. I'm not quite confirming it, I guess.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Wait, what was the question again?
Where do you recommend someone to start? So they learn programming and then get into games. And do you recommend them doing like 2D games, 3D games? Tell us, like, elaborate more on maybe what you started, so that they kind of have like a somewhat clear like timeline on what to do.
Okay, well, I would say 3D games are in general more complex, because you need to deal with the like meshes and stuff for the characters. You need to the animations, like it can get kind of messy, like when you're downloading it from Mixamo, because like sometimes the animation for like running forward plays and like the character moves and like snaps back. So like if you're doing those animations, like that's going to be a lot of work. So I would say the 2D games are probably going to be easier to develop. So definitely start there. In fact, I think all of the Unity tutorials are, well, at least most of them are in 2D.
I think that's even the starter one, I remember the space shooter tutorial. It's a 3D game, but it's a 2D game but built in a 3D. If you remember that was actually interesting, because what they teach you is they teach you about the 3D stuff, but then they do it in a 2D kind of top-down view, which is again a good tutorial. I mean, Unity know what they're doing. Like, they're a big company. They've done different researches on different things, and yeah, I personally had the privilege of teaching Unity for over 4 years, part-time obviously, with while I'm studying and even a little bit after I graduated. And I have parents who still call me these days to teach them. So I think even with the whole let's say like corona and the whole struggling going on, a lot of people are still willing to learn programming and coding, especially that we are in this age of time, and it's very important to know programming. Like later on in life, even toilets or like furniture will be programmable, and I think it's very, very essential. So yeah, I think if you don't know coding, I think it's essential to start learning how to code, because this is the only thing that's going to be pushing you in the future and kind of making you stand out. Yeah.
Like even if you were to take the game dev completely out of it, like programming is a great skill to have.
True. And you can code apps, you can code software, fun stuff. Vedant, let me kind of end the show with this interesting question.
Okay.
If you were not able, or let me kind of put it this way, and I want you to elaborate on this, not just answer it. If you were not able to do one thing, game development or gaming, so would you rather game develop forever, or would you rather just play games forever? So like, if you choose either one, that means you can never do the other one again. So like, and I don't mean like playing the game that you developed, that's kind of testing, but I mean like actually like you're not allowed to play any game that you haven't developed. Think of it that way. What would you choose and why? And I want you to like, kind of like elaborate on it.
Oh boy, you've really got me on the spot here. Okay. I might have to just stick to playing games. Yeah, I mean, I can still program, which is like cool. But yes, there's so many good games out there that I don't want to miss that.
Fair enough.
This is really hard for me to say.
Fair enough. So,
yeah, I think I love playing games a lot, and I love making games a lot. But I think if I were to stop playing games, I would lose a lot more of my current pastime than if I were to stop making games.
Fair enough. And obviously you mentioned that you can do other things, so you can still be programming, but not programming games, and maybe perhaps finding a job completely different, accounting, for example.
I don't know why you keep bringing up.
Guys, I love accountants. If you are an accountant, I love you. Keep you doing your budgeting and your, I don't know, balance sheets. But yeah, we love you guys. But Vedant, thank you so much for today. That was pretty incredible. Thank you for the knowledge, and we're really excited. Like I'm sure you've seen the chat yourself, the whole excitement about your game. We're really looking forward to seeing it. We're hoping that it would end by the end of this year, so we could have like some game ready on the Android. So make that your goal. Like just put the timeline to November. and in case you delay it, you have December to finish, which is
maybe I'll do that. If anyone on the chat like wants updates, I guess I'll start posting them on Instagram.
Oh, definitely, that would be cool. And again, you guys, he does stream sometimes. He does stream his game development sometimes. Do hit him with a follow. And I think you should promote yourself on Instagram as well, because I remember when you streamed, you didn't really kind of tell everyone that you. So maybe someone would be interested, and then they would like come to your stream and watch you. And obviously it's very interactive as well when you're doing it, and I personally enjoyed it last time. I was privileged to see his game, like at least the version that he was working on when I saw it. It's probably much better now, but like I've seen the game. It's really nice. The art was a little but I think he improved it, and I feel he has plans to improve it even further. But otherwise, the game was good. It was well developed. The code was cleanish to some extent, and I feel like it could potentially be a good one of those addictive games. And if it really hits big, come on, you gotta like try it out as well. And
yeah.
Are you ever? Sorry for that last question, but are you ever planning to perhaps? I don't want to say open a studio, but like make a brand name for yourself, like Vedant Gaming or Vedant Development, or do you feel like it's much safer to just work for someone or a company. Like, where do you see yourself doing? What do you see yourself doing of
Well,
either
I mean,
option?
it's definitely safer to work for a company, but I would be into that idea of like making my own thing and setting out. Let's say like hypothetically 5 years down the line or 10 years down the line, I have like a bunch of savings, and like I'd be open to going off and like making my own thing, like kind of trying to get a game out there. I think that would be something I like that.
Vedant Games, or I don't think that's what you would call it. I think you'll find
Probably not.
Wild Junior.
Yeah, WJR Studios is currently my name on the Google developer thing.
Ah, that's lovely. Where did that name come from, by the way?
Oh boy, how long do you have?
All right, guys, thank you so much for today. No, I'm kidding. Just tell us like a quick, just like a quick summary.
Okay. My brother and I, when we were younger, we used to like play wrestling, and that was my name. Well, Wild was my name. It later became Wild Junior, and that's kind of where that came from. Well, actually, the name Wild came from like a Hot Wheels cartoon, and like I put it into this wrestling game because I was like, hey, this person's cool. The name sounds cool, and like later it became Wild Junior. That's a long story, but yeah, that's where that came from.
Fair enough. That's cool, and I kind of like it. For a long time, you had like Alexander Susi as your thing, which was pretty hilarious. It's an
Oh yeah, I
inside
just
joke.
thought it was funny.
But yeah, and then now you have your actual brand, and I think it's really good. Well, thank you so much for today, Vedant. Guys, Vedant
Thanks for
spent an
having
hour
me.
and spent an hour of his life teaching us amazing things. And again, game development is amazing. Mina, one of my guys, Mina is saying hi. He's giving you a lot of cheers.
Oh, hello.
He's really happy with your content.
Ooh.
So guys, definitely hit him up with a follow. Go follow him on social media. Go follow him on Twitch. He's a great guy. Definitely get in touch with him if you want to see his game, if you want to learn more about gaming. Thank you, Vedant, for today. Any last words you want to hit up with the chat so I can then send them off in peace?
Goodbye.
Oh, come on. Give us something motivational. I'm sure you can do better.
Make games. Make art in general. Just do it. Follow your passions. Whatever mode of art speaks to you, just like go make it. Ooh, did someone? What? I don't know what's happening in chat.
Oh, they're asking you for the link of the game. Guys, the game is not yet finished. I will personally ensure that you all get the link. So I have a list of all the ones who were there today. I personally will ensure that you guys get the link once it's and definitely, like, if you're following him, you'll definitely see when he's probably gonna post about it all day. I will personally grab him and make sure he posts about it. So
yeah, I need to start posting.
yes. So go follow him. His Instagram is on the command. I'll do the link one more time. So guys, go follow him. You'll find all the updates there. Thank you so much, Vedant, and have a good day, everyone. This is the Be Positive Show. We're gonna be rating someone, and take care. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for having me. Bye, everyone.